Hi, I'm Edward, and I'm just a regular guy. Seriously, after what I tell you next, I'm not sure you'll believe me, but it's the truth. I'm just like any other teen, but one day, something happened that made my dad doubt who I really am. I don't have any siblings, so Dad and I have always been close. We go to soccer games together and go fishing in the holidays. Dad also takes me to play sports with his buddies, and we always have a great time. Everything was going great, until my dad discovered the secret that I've been keeping from him for months. Okay, so I like soccer and swimming and all the stuff he likes, but there's something else I'm into. Honestly, I like to cross-dress. When my parents are out of the house, I go into their room and I try on my mom's clothes. But it's not just women's clothes I like to wear. I also like to try on her makeup and heels. So, last week, I thought my parents had gone shopping and would be out for at least an hour. Thinking I was totally alone in the house, I crept up to my parents' room. My mom has a knee-length dress in lavender-colored silk that fits me really well. So I put that on, and I also tried on her blue high heels. I found eyeshadow in a matching color and was just applying lipstick when my dad came in. He was shocked. "What the hell are you doing?" he yelled. I was so startled I couldn't say anything at all. My dad gave me a look like he was totally disgusted and walked out of the room. I was really upset. I almost cried. It wasn't because I was ashamed of who I am, but because I didn't want to disappoint my dad. Later that night, I tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't even look at me. At dinner time, my mom said he didn't want to eat in the same room as me because he was too angry. My mom was understanding, but Dad is a traditional guy and he couldn't accept it. I heard my parents talking late at night, and Dad was just as mad as he had been earlier. How did my son turn out like this? I thought I raised him right. Weeks went by and Dad still couldn't get over it. Whenever he saw me, he looked away and ignored me. I didn't know what to do. He refused to listen to me or try to understand. Therefore, I decided just to make the whole thing go away by lying to him. I went and told him that I have no interest in wearing such things anymore. It's a thing that I wanted to try and that it's just going to stay in the past. My words seemed to comfort him a little, but he was still having his doubts whether I was telling the truth. Telling him that felt like I was hiding my true self, but at least it got my dad to talk to me again. Months went by without mentioning the incident, and I forgot about it and got busy with preparing for the school musical. I was so excited for it since I got accepted for the audition and got the leading role. And of course, the Rocky Horror Picture Show's main part is a cross-dresser. Of course, my dad had no idea. I couldn't tell him that I was back to cross-dressing, and I hoped that the musical would happen without him finding out. When I told my mom about it, I begged her not to tell him, and she said that it would be a good idea to show him my artistic side, but I refused. I felt like he would never forgive me. Underneath it all, I knew I had to go through with the musical, and if he finds out, so be it. On the day of the play, I was a ball of nerves. I couldn't stop shaking, and I was sweating so much that my makeup started to run. One of the girls who was doing the makeup was called Maria. She noticed that I was nervous, and she started to help me fix my makeup. "Don't worry, Edward. You look amazing, and I'm sure the performance will be a blast," Maria said. But little did she know, that wasn't the reason I was nervous for. When I stepped onto the stage, it was like I was a different person. In the audience, I could see my tutor who usually sees me in my school uniform. I also saw my soccer coach who always sees me in my sports kit. In contrast with my father, neither of them looked disgusted with me, even though I was wearing a shiny black corset, tight fishnet stockings, and bright red lipstick. They looked amazed. And when I started singing, the whole audience jumped to their feet and started clapping. It was the most incredible feeling. When everyone sat back down, I saw someone else I recognized at the back of the auditorium. My mom. She had a big smile across her face and she looked so proud. And to my surprise, I saw my father sitting right beside her. In fact, he looked a little unwell. She must have told him to come, I thought. I was about to perform, so I tried not to overthink and focused on the stage. At the end of the performance, there was a standing ovation. The head teacher came out and did a brilliant speech, and everyone congratulated me backstage. Then I looked up and saw my parents. The headmaster marched over to my dad and shook his hand. "You've got a great son there," he said enthusiastically. "A real asset to the school. You must be proud." Dad was lost for words and looked even more confused when he saw how many people were crowding around me and cheering me on. People from the audience came up and congratulated me. I felt like the most popular guy in school. Once we got home, I changed into my regular clothes, and I heard a knock at the door. "Come in," I called. Dad walked in. "Son, I want to be honest," he said and took a deep breath. "I'm not happy about your hobby, you know that. I just think it's not my style. But I know that it's important to you. I'll admit, the musical was a great success. You showed me that I shouldn't stop you from embracing who you are. You're still my son, and I love you. But please, can we agree to a few rules? Well, after that, I can't say things were perfect, but my dad was a lot more accepting. He still doesn't like it if I wear women's clothes in public, and I agreed to keep the cross-dressing to myself and only dress up like this in private. Dad agreed that what I do in my spare time is my own business. So for now, I'm happy with that. It won't be long until I graduate and go to college, and then I can do what I like.